Today let's talk about having low GPS issues. If on your screen you have 0 satellites and you try to calibrate your drone, it would always have issues like toilet bowling or not returning home, or maybe sometimes what happens is like the drone simply flies away from the customer without even doing anything. So as soon as you start your drone, you just need to wait for the satellites to come up to 10 satellites, only then start your calibration. So I'm gonna start with doing the compass calibration first. Now after doing the calibration, make sure you switch off your controller as well as your drone, just to make sure that the programming has embedded in the system. So now after doing the compass calibration, I have switched off my controller and the drone. Now it's again initializing. As you can see, the satellite has 0 written down on it. That means you're gonna have to wait for it to go up to 10 satellites before you start your second calibration, which is your gyro calibration. I never put the props on first, just me being precautious about not having to deal with motors arming by mistake, or maybe if there is anything, the drone doesn't do anything crazy on me, because the carbon fiber blades can cut through your bone as well. Now the satellites are on 10, so I'm gonna do my gyro, which is left joystick down, right joystick, left right, left right, left right. Always clean your controller, because sand in the joysticks can cause issues in terms of reach in each direction. So make sure you use a compressor or something like that to just blow off your sand. Now again, switch off after the gyro calibration. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our IMU calibration. Again, 0 satellites, so wait for another 30 seconds or something like that, just for it to boost up. And on the screen, always make sure that your cells are above 5.3 volt. That means it actually, the cells inside the AAA batteries that you have inside, not AAA actually, this is AA batteries. So the cells inside are actually on its maximum capacity. So now the satellites are full. The last calibration I do is IMU, which is left joystick up, right joystick left right, left right, left right, left right, left right, left right, left right. After doing this, put my props on. So I have my props on. Now we're gonna do a return home test flight. If everything goes well, there is no toilet bowling, that means the drone has successfully passed the test flight. The reason this drone came back to us was because of the toilet bowling, and I guess just one of those things that we changed the GPS module on without even doing anything else. And for us, the drone returned home perfectly fine when we did the test flight, but the customer is saying that he's having it even in a more worse condition than it was before in terms of returning home. So we're just gonna wait for it to go up to 10 satellites. We're gonna keep a distance from the drone, arm the motors. We're basically gonna try and see what the drone will do for us. Stable, which is good. I don't know if you can see the drone or not, but it's just above those trees. If you look it up, right next to the trees. So I'm about 40 meters away from myself, and now I'm gonna go straight up about 100 meters before I click on my return home. Now I'm about 94 meters away from me, 6 more meters. I think we're pretty good now. Yeah, 99 meters. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on return home and I'm gonna see what happens. Okay, the drone is going up by 25 meters. Returning home, yes. If anything goes wrong, you can always put it on ADTI mode, which is right next to your GPS mode, and manually try and land it. So it's coming back pretty fine, just trying to relocate itself, which normally is good. It's not a problem. Now it's returning home. As you can see, I'm not touching it at all. There you go. The wind gust is no more than 15 to 20 kilometers an hour, so I'm sure that this is the ideal conditions for it in terms of having to deal with the wind against you, or sometimes when the wind is actually, you're gonna have to resist. The drone has to resist itself against the wind because of the gust. But this one is about 20 kilometers an hour, which is fine. This area, the one where I test fly my drone, is basically right next to a helipad area. So there is this Air Force base as well right next to us. So that means that this area is the most interfered area in terms of network and radio connections. So if the drone has any sort of issues, it will come up straight away rather than coming up later. So that's what I would normally say. So if you're doing all your 3 calibrations and doing it on 10 satellites, your voltage on the controller end is above 5.3. Your voltage on this end is also above 14 point some volt. I can't recall the digit after the decimal, but it's always have to be above 15. You are gonna be okay after doing your calibration. There should not be any sort of issues. Sometimes you do get external interference, but that's something nobody can fix it. If there is some external radio signal or something like that, and that the drone has caught, it's basically being in bad luck. That's all.